Alright, what's up guys? I think it's about time that I finally make this video for y'all. This is some general knowledge, but as always, don't quote me on this, but this is as much as I know currently on how to protect yourself from Section 3's with Amazon. So I'm going to do my very best to advise you guys on stuff that I've seen so far, things that I've heard, doing my own research and everything like that. But please always just take this with a grain of salt. Section 3's are extremely serious. People are losing their accounts over them. And don't quote me on all this. Do all your research. I'm no different than any guy on YouTube, right? We're all just trying our best to help. But Amazon has their own tutorials within their Seller Central, right? On how to avoid Section 3's, how to comply with all of their policies, everything. Make sure to go watch their videos, because that's, they're the ones making the rules. But hopefully I can help break these things down for you a little bit and help some things make sense. Okay. So, first off, when you are going to buy and sell a product like this, right? First and foremost, remember, when you're selling other products on Amazon, you're not just here to make money. You got to remember, you as a seller, you are taking on the role of making sure that you are representing, you're representing the brand, and you're representing Amazon when you're selling on their platform. So Amazon wants you to take certain actions to make sure that you're doing this, successfully. This is why when you're listing an item on Amazon, Amazon wants to make sure you actually have the product in hand before you create the listing. As soon as you create a listing, Amazon can send you over Section 3 asking you where you got it from, wanting to know the source, the supply chain of where it came from to prove the product's authenticity, and any other reasons that they want to know where it came from. And if you don't have the product, you're screwed. You're clipped. So, right, if you create a listing before you have the product, remember Amazon can ask you for an invoice, and going and purchasing a product so you could have an invoice, that isn't going to work either, because the invoices show the date and time of when it was purchased. They also look at the tracking number on the invoices to see that it was successfully delivered. And I'm going to provide you guys with 2 examples of things that have happened so far, so you know not to do them as well. Let me turn this down just a little bit. So, right, someone got Section 3'd. They purchased a product from the brand directly. It was on discount. Amazon hit them with a Section 3, but they hadn't purchased it, or they did purchase it. It was in transit to them. They listed on Amazon while it was in transit. However, they went and, because it was a large order, he submitted the invoice and then canceled the order. So the product never got to him. They like to see that the product was delivered and it also came from a reputable source, right? So he didn't have the product delivered, therefore Amazon deactivated his account and he couldn't get it back. Absolutely tragic. Pause for 60 seconds, then we'll get back to the video. I just wanted to say, in the description there's a link to a Discord where I have more and more information on Section 3's and how to protect yourself located in the Discord, and information on what to do if this unfortunately does happen to you. Inside the Discord, we also post leads daily, good leads, stuff that I would sell myself, sourced by individuals that we have thoroughly trained and taught how to find the right type of leads to stay away from big name brands, and to constantly be proactively researching brands that do Section 3 and to stay away from leads like that. So we're posting leads daily that are safe and good to sell, that I think you personally would probably really like to have in your arsenal and stocking your shelves with every single month. We post leads daily. We have access to wholesale distributors that we do vet, do recommend, and do refer you to and help you open accounts with, and so much more. If you have any questions and you'd like to talk to me personally, schedule a call. The booking link will be in the description as well. Follow me on Instagram at dwilmoth_. That will be linked in the description as well. And without further ado, let's get back to it. So if you get hit with a Section 3, make sure you're doing your part of 1, purchasing the inventory, getting it delivered. If for some reason you're not doing that, I guess I would say let the product get delivered, right? And then send them the invoice. It doesn't matter if it's a day or two late. I would say, right, if you send them the invoice and it's not delivered, they're just going to say this doesn't meet our standards and sorry, we can't help you. Wait till it gets delivered, then submit the documentation. I would say is the best call to action if those are the circumstances. So, make sure we actually have the product. Have the product before listing. So, yep, have the product before listing. And this is because also other reasons for this too are because other various reasons to comply with Amazon's policies. If you actually have the product in hand, they want you to order the product to get it in hand, inspect it yourself, make sure you're doing your due diligence as a seller, make sure that you're inspecting it, make sure it's not a counterfeit, make sure everything looks good, it's not damaged, so that when you list it on Amazon, you actually have the inventory on hand, it's inspected, the right quantities are listed, make sure you're listing the proper and accurate quantities, because if Amazon asks for an invoice and you have 500 units listed and you only bought 20 units, well, they're going to ask for an invoice showing for 500 units, and if it doesn't meet the quantity, you're also cooked. So be honest about quantities, because they are going to ask for the quantities that you're claiming to have. So list the proper quantities. Just don't lie and don't cheat. I think a lot of Amazon sellers are cheating, and the rules for the reasons for why Amazon is doing this is to try to get their sellers back in shape and to comply with their policies so their platform can run the way they're trying to run it. Because none of us are employees, we're all technically contractors working for Amazon. Amazon doesn't have any employees. All their drivers, all their sellers, everyone is just a contractor, which it's very impressive how they've done that. But have it on hand, inspect it, make sure it's good, list the proper amount of quantities so that when an item sells, there's no reason why you cannot ship it out in the amount of time promised to get it to the customer on the date promised so that the customer experience can be protected. So there's no shot of counterfeits, there's no shot of any of that, and the customer is getting their item by the date promised. Next, I would say we want to vet suppliers. Vet your supplier. Use platforms like Trustpilot, any other sort of website that can kind of show customer reviews on how the website operates, and only purchase from websites that you know are good and you know are going to be getting the stuff from the source. Be careful on Walmart though, because other sellers can be selling on Walmart, and when you're buying something on Walmart's marketplace, it might not actually be like Walmart selling it themselves. It might say, it's just like on Amazon, sold by this person, shipped by this person. It'll say that on Walmart, or it'll say fulfilled by Walmart or whatever, right? If you're buying it from Walmart, you can be sure that invoice will very likely hold up if you've done your part of making sure you have the product on hand and done everything you're supposed to. That invoices from Walmart or Target or Dick's Sporting Goods or other reputable companies should hold up. But then otherwise, when you're getting into the wholesale space, Telegram distributors, they have no proof of supply chain. They don't even know where the fuck they're getting their products from. They could care less. They're just making money in between the lines and don't care about you. So if you're trying to go open an account with Telegram, just remember, anything that comes easy is probably a fucking scam. Anything that seems to be too good to be true is probably a scam. And Telegram distributors have no proof of supply chain. If you need to submit a document, their document's not going to work. They're also not going to be able to get the documents from where they got it from to help you out. And even if they could, they still probably won't, because they're not going to sacrifice you knowing that relationship to help you save your account, because remember, they don't care about you. They don't care about someone that has only spent $15,000 with them, $30,000 with them. The only way they're going to sacrifice that relationship is if you're someone that has spent $200,000, $300,000 with them, and they're like, all right, this is one of our highest spenders. He is driving our business by buying so much from us. It's worth it for us to give him this documentation to help keep him around. Okay. So don't get on Telegram unless you don't care about your Amazon account or the longevity of your business. And in the coming future, I could probably make a more in-depth video, more better quality one, but for right now, I think this should do. For just teaching you guys Amazon's policies, making sure you're doing everything so that if Amazon does ask, you can have done your part of having the product, you can send pictures of it if you need to. You're vetting your suppliers, you're looking them up on Trustpilot before you're buying. They have they're a legit company. Target, Walmart, Dick's Sporting Goods, Walgreens, their invoices should hold up. And they should also be getting the product straight from the source, or having the ability to prove supply chain. And then those are the two things right now you guys need to do to make sure you're complying with Amazon's policies. And hopefully I'll have a better video coming out soon, but this has gone way too long without something like this existing in the Discord, as I know a lot of you guys are starting to get into products and stuff like that. I want to make sure you guys are doing this, right? Stop listing stuff before you have it. Stop, just buying anything you can for profit. Always remember, patience is a virtue, and there will always be a better lead that comes along. There are thousands of leads out there right this second. There's no need to just buy a cook and try to list it and rush it, and also if you're weary about the supplier and stuff like that, just don't do that. Just don't do that. Just make sure you're running a good business so you can sleep at night. You don't have a guilty conscience. You're not stressing about something going wrong. If you're doing your part, there shouldn't be anything to worry about. All right, and then last but not least, I just got back from the gym, sorry. Where's the marker at? All right, last but not least, probably most importantly, pay attention to the category that you're selling in, right? Stay away from the big name brands. Stop trying to do that. I know I use this as an example, but dude, you should not be selling this. Put yourself in the brand's shoes. If say you own this brand, you've worked your ass off to create a brand, done all the labeling, growing a brand like this from the ground up is so hard to do. And then imagine if I just came on your listing, started selling your stuff willy-nilly, didn't care if I got it to the customer on time, didn't care what packaging I put it in, and it got to the customer all screwed up. That's representing bucked up, right? You don't want to do that. So stay away from these big brands. They are the ones that are a lot of times pushing Amazon to Section 3 or IP and get people off of their listings. So what you can do to, protect yourself is sell in miscellaneous categories, right? Sell in categories where you don't know what the heck that is, really. If you're selling a brand you've never heard of before and it's something that, is hard to counterfeit, that's a great thing to sell, right? We're here to make money, yeah? But sell stuff that doesn't have a huge name yet. Don't be trying to sell Nike, don't be trying to sell supplements, don't be trying to sell stuff that the brand is on, especially. Right now, we used to be able to do that, but Amazon's changing, so don't do that right now. Categories that I like to sell in, if you can see this, don't even know how to spell grocery, whatever. Grocery pretty much is the best at the moment, what I think is great. We got seasonal stuff too, Valentine's Day is coming up. Seasonal, grocery, seasonal. I would say outdoors is good too. We got spring coming up, so gardening, outdoors, all that stuff. Gardening utensils, tools. But be careful with tools because a lot of tools have a lot of rules on IP and stuff like that, automotive parts and stuff like that. That stuff you got to be really careful because those brands trademark really heavily. But grocery, food, dry food is awesome, dude. Dry food is great. Can't counterfeit that. And a lot of grocery stuff doesn't really care. So you guys should by now know how to identify if a listing is filled with a ton of sellers that are all doing online arbitrage, right? You go to them, see if they're all selling products that directly correlate and are only sold by retail stores like Target and Walmart selling those types of brands. That way, you know, the other stuff that they're selling is also going to be coming from those stores, and then you can go down the rabbit hole of storefront stalking all of those stores. So that is the last note, is stay away from those big name brands. Like, there's no need to take on that much risk. You only need to find a couple good products a month that are consumable good, customers are coming back to, customers will continue to buy. What is that? What do humans always need to do is eat, right? Grocery, consumable goods, stuff that's hard to counterfeit, miscellaneous items most importantly, and stay away from the big brand stuff. Let's be safe right now, and I'm sure over time the market's going to fluctuate. If Amazon's kicking off a ton of people, well, they're also going to be losing more revenue because of that. But I'm sure with time, you know, we are going to learn how to protect ourselves, and, you know, hopefully as many of us as possible can make it through these tough times. So that was one last thing I wanted to add. I hope that helps. Let me know if you guys have any questions, and talk to you all soon.